Vegetable soup with poached eggs. Buongiorno, welcome to my home. Welcome to my yard. This is my little corte, as we call it in Italian. I do a lot of cooking here. The birds are chirping. What do you want more in life? It is beautiful. And I'm gonna show you how to make this wonderful soup. A soup with lots of vegetable flavor, but not too many ingredients. The carrots, the celery, and the onions will give you a wallop of flavor, and the Swiss chard will finish it off. So what is Swiss chard? Swiss chard is this leafy greens, and I love them. I grew up on them. My grandma had them growing in the yard. So I'm gonna save this. I cut this first because I'm gonna make a pestata out of that. And the leaves take less time to cook, so we're gonna save them. But I'm going to shred them anyway, so that I am ready to go when I come back to the pot with them. That's about that. Now, one of the bases for a minestrone or soup or all that, I remember always my grandmother was making a pestata. A pestata, she was there with the cleaver, and she would pestata with the vegetables, whether it would be bacon, whether it would be garlic. But today we have this convenience here, so let's do it. To this, I'm gonna add the celery, the carrots, and the onion, the garlic, and the parsley. And we're just gonna whirl it until it's nice and fine. So you could have it a little chunkier if you like to see more, but I like it fine just like that. Let's put some oil in a nice soup pot, and I like a nice heavy pot, so that, you know, it sort of perks away. And I'll render this down a little bit, just give it some flavor. This will cook plenty in the soup. I will add some salt to it, some peperoncino, and we'll let just the vegetable water evaporate and get just a little flavor. And then we will continue with the tomato paste and the bay leaves. One of my favorite herbs is bay leaf. Bay leaf, I like the intensity. I use it especially with a lot of meat when I do vegetable soups. We used to have, let me first take you to my little courtyard where I grew up in. Big courtyard, because I was little at that time, it was a big courtyard. Now I go back and it's a little courtyard. Things are relative in life. But in this courtyard, going to the garden, there was hedges of bay leaf, really trees of them. We called it lauro. But let's get back to the soup now. So let me put the bay leaf in, and I'm gonna make a little hot spot. You know, I like to make those hot spots. And I'm going to put the tomato paste right in there, just like that. And sort of spread it around, because when you toast like this, the tomato paste, you just give it another layer of flavor. And I can smell it coming up, this toasting of tomato paste. You know how smells can take you in distant places, in distant times. It takes you all over. Well, this is taking me in Grandma's kitchen. Okay. This is at the point I wanted. I'm gonna add just plain water. So, you know, sometimes you have recipes, add stock, a beef stock, chicken stock, turkey stock. How about water? Water is just fine. Actually, I like it. It gives it a nice, clean flavor to this meal, so. And plenty of water, because this is going to cook for a while, and we want to get all that flavor out. Okay, so let's cover this. Covering, you save energy and time, and in 40 minutes we'll add the chard and we'll finish off delicious soup. Hello, buongiorno, welcome to my library. So let's take a look at the social media. Let's see what's in there. Georgia writes, do you have to worry about measurements and what vegetables you use when making a vegetable broth? I save every scrap when I prep my meals. So I end up with a lot of random bits and pieces. Georgia, the more of the flavorings that you put in, whether it's the roots, the leaves, whether it's the bones, the more flavor you'll get out of it. You know what I would stay away from are the bitter greens, broccoli di rape, kale, eggplant. These are greens that have a bitter aftertaste, but otherwise, all the other sweet vegetables, put them in. Georgia, I'm so glad you listened to me and saved all those vegetables. I'm proud of you. The soup is done. Look at this. Looks great. Let me just kind of show you. See how nice all those vegetables that are pestato and the chard. And I put the soup in this. You wonder, well, what happened to the other pot? Well, it boiled down. And then I put it in this white pot because what I'm going to do is I'm going to poach the eggs right in here in the soup. And therefore I need the space. I'm going to do 3 because it's just us. But you can fit up to 6 eggs here and have 6 people enjoy this delicious soup dish. So it has to be at a boiling, but not really vigorously boiling, because when you put the egg in, it would kind of mix up the eggs. So you want it to boil, but you want it to be gentle. A little bowl like this is practical. Just make sure it has a drop of water in there. This way the egg glides. Nice and gentle, and I'm just gonna rest it right here. Slide it, not where there's a lot of liquid, but when there is some support of the vegetables underneath, so it stays on top. And I'll put this one right here. I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese just on top of it, just like that. Okay, there we go. So let's cover this a few more minutes. Let me grab your dishes. I'm almost ready to serve you. And a little plate for Lidia, of course. And what we'll put on the bottom is some nice crusty toasted bread, 2-day-old bread. You toast it a little bit, maybe with a little butter if it's a little drier, but otherwise, just like that. You put it on the bottom, just like that. And I'm gonna put one for Lidia here. It's nice, that's beautiful. So let me check on these. Done. The eggs are just right. You want them a little soft. So let me just shut off the heat. And let me put some soup first. Great, that's perfect. Let me just, and how about Lidia? I don't want to break the eggs, but I do want to put some for Lidia. And now let me pick up the egg with a slotted spoon, just like that. And you put it right on top of the bread. Let me sprinkle some cheese right here, just like that, just like that. Well, this looks like a lunch for sure. Let me deliver it to you guys in your special place here. 1, 2. So, let me taste for you. Let me just take a little bit of the egg, a little bit of the bread, a little bit of the soup. Delicious, it is light, it is flavorful. The bread, the Swiss chard, the soup that's here, and a little bit egg on top with some cheese. Beautiful combination, really good. So you're gonna make this? I hope you do, because it's worth it.